Hello, good morning, everyone. So today I'm going to talk about DNA, and we have been hearing a lot about that our DNA is responsible for various chronic diseases, whether it is obesity, diabetes, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, cancer. Uh, but the fact is, you know, this is all fat claims. If someone doesn't have an answer to your pertaining health issue, they will blame it to genes. But the thing is, your DNA, which contains your genes, remains static during life. So whatever you're eating, uh, you know, uh, whatever medications you are taking, whatever lifestyle you are leading, your DNA remains static. Even if you see someone's DNA, if someone has died, if we check his DNA during the death and when he was alive, it would be same. So DNA just tells potential. Okay, if I have an FTO gene, right, it tells I may develop obesity, but it doesn't mean I will develop obesity, right? Similarly, if you go 3 4 genes, right, it tells a risk of Alzheimer, but doesn't mean you have Alzheimer. So you or you will develop Alzheimer. So consider this, if you have that gene, it cannot say, okay, I forgot to wipe off your memory. Because Alzheimer generally occurs at the age of 65, 70. Your genes will not tell, oh, I forgot to wipe off your memory. So let me do it now, right? So there's always triggers which changes your genes expression, right? So what matters is your genes expression. Even if when you talk of genes per se, our human body has around 25,000 genes, which we get from our parents. Our microbes living on inside our body, right from mouth to stomach to small intestine to large intestine to vagina to skin everywhere, expresses around 2 to 20 million genes. So, at best we are 1%, even at worst we are 0.1% human. Right? So essentially, what matters is how those genes are being expressed, right? And therefore, so any diet recommendations based on your genetic profile is just is just a whitewash. It is not going to help because your body keeps on evolving. Every day. Your microbiome composition keeps on changing. Every month, every day. Every 3 months, every 6 months, right? So, so essentially, what I means by genes expression is, so consider this, if if you have exhausted, you don't have any energy, probably your genes, that code for protein that that signals that you need rest or sleep is increased, right? Similarly, if you're all fuel, probably your food, whatever you have eaten is is over, or you need more fuel, your genes, that code for protein that is signaling brain that you need more food is increased, and once you have consumed your food and you're full, probably that the expression of the gene changes. Similarly, when it comes to chronic diseases, so there's certain overexpression of genes, that code for protein that signals production of pro-inflammatory molecules, pro-inflammatory activities, that that makes us develop disease. So essentially what happens is, when the wrong molecules are being produced, so we know that a lot of these functions inside our body are done by trillions of microbes living on inside our body, specifically in the gut, right? So 99% of the biological function has been outsourced to these, microbes. So these microbes actually, when they release a lot of, metabolites, so when they metabolize the food we eat, right, they release they release a lot of molecules, these metabolites, and these metabolites can be good and bad. If they are bad, probably it triggers, it tells immune system something is bad, and please take care of it. And so how does immune cells recognize a problem, right? So there are certain receptors, right, what we call as inflammasomes, right? These receptors actually activate the enzymes which triggers the production of pro-inflammatory, molecules such as cytokines, right? And these inflammatory upregulation of these inflammatory markers actually tells immune system, to go to the site of trauma and and launch an attack, right? And that's how it happens. So probably if there are pathogens, So inflammations play a key role, in signaling immune cells to do act, right? To act and to attack. But when there are, a lot of molecules, harmful molecules being produced by your microbiome because of wrong dietary choices, because of imbalance in your gut microbiome, right? So there's an overexpression of this inflammasomes activity, and this leads to development of various chronic diseases, right? So essentially, we really need to focus on genes expression, not genes, both human and microbial genes expression, right? Because 99% anyways of the genes expressed in our body belongs to microbes, right? And even when it comes to nutrition, right? So we have a lot of fat diets, we have high protein diet, we have ketosis, we have quantified nutrition, we have, starvation diets, calorie deficient diets. The thing is, so it assumes that these diets will work for everyone, which is wrong, right? So it is like, everyone likes the same sport. It's a similar thing. Or if I'm a trekker, so everyone likes trekking, that which is wrong, right? So essentially, every bio every individual's biochemical individuality is very, very unique, right? So there may be thousands of diets which may be claiming health benefits, right? For instance, there's a lot of research paper which says that fruit juice are good, and some papers say that fruit juice can cause cancer. Similarly, there are certain people who say that dairy and red meat are really, really good, and probably that gives vitamin B12. But some people would claim they are it's a risk of cardiovascular disease or cancer, right? So essentially, the biggest flaw is these research papers have never considered the role of gut microbiome, right? So essentially, we really need to understand nutrition from a very different perspective, because we know nutrition is medicine. So for every single chronic disease, nutrition is the best medicine. So what we really need to understand is that, you know, we have to forget food is all about, or probably we should go beyond uh, food is protein, carbs, fats, right? So food is a sack of 25,000 plus, molecular ingredients, right? So when we, how these ingredients are metabolized by a microbiome, or they are converted into, is what matters. So this is what we do at Gene Fit Critics, right? So we take your, biological sample non-invasively, right? Whether it is stool, whether it is saliva, or it is a vaginal swab, right? We measure your biology and chemistry by collecting your molecular and asking you to fill up a, self-reported phenotype form, right? We convert this entire two set of data into various biological pathways, which tells the state of various biological function, even activities and function of various microbiome, right? Various microbes living inside your gut, inside your mouth, inside your vagina, right? And then we actually map these molecules. So we don't consider food like potato, broccoli, cabbage, right? We see the molecular ingredients, right? For instance, polyphenols, amino acids, methionine, sulfate, oxalic, right? Purines, fructose, glucose. So a lot of these molecules. And we so the when these molecules, if I'm going to feed a molecule, for instance, oxalate, right? How your microbiome is going to metabolize it, and what it is going to convert into, right? So if your body doesn't have, right set of microbes, right, which can utilize oxalic acid, right, which is generally found in spinach and almonds and beets and a lot of these foods, and even apple, right? So this oxalate can trigger things like kidney stone and maybe joint pain, right? So essentially, we may put the all the foods which have oxide in the avoid list. So we will try to replace them. For instance, spinach. Spinach is high in iron, vitamin B12, vitamin D, right? But if your microbiome cannot neutralize oxalate as oxalic acid, so probably spinach would come in avoid list, right? So we will see, okay, how we can replace the spinach, you know, with some of the food which has iron or vitamin D or vitamin B12. If I can do that, it's great. But if we can't, right? So we would be probably giving you supplements with the right amount of how much of iron supplement or vitamin D or vitamin B12 your body needs right now. Right? So all these are driven by the functions of the microbiome, right? So the interaction between your nutrition ingredients and the microbiome is what gives us nutrients, or gives us toxins, which triggers pro-inflammatory molecules and which makes us develop disease, right? So do not fall for DNA. Maybe 5 to 10% disease which are genetic disease, maybe rare genetic disorders, right? But chronic diseases are not rare. It is like it keeps us sick every day, keeps us sick every day, right? So essentially, what we really need to understand is uh, the interaction between the food and the microbiome, the molecular ingredients and the microbiome, right? And how it is impacting our physiology. And our entire solution is data driven. So there's no human decision making here, right? So we collect your biological data, we collect your molecular data, we collect your phenotype data, we convert into various biological pathways, we then tell you the state of your biology, right? And then convert that into right set of, carve out the right set of nutrition interventions to regulate your biology to promote you know, the beneficial functions of the microbes and suppress the harmful activities. So just measure your biology. Do not fall for any DNA day based tests. That's it for today. Signing off now. Take care. Have a great day ahead.